What's going on, everyone? Black Scarab here. Today's video I want to talk about the state of the game, what changes needs to be done in order to keep Hearthstone fun and exciting, and what my ideas are, my thoughts on the changes in the current state of the game. So I feel like there are 7 major changes that need to be done in order to keep Hearthstone still fun and exciting for old players like myself. Number 1, most importantly, more deck slots. Okay, we have 9 classes, and each class right now has like 2-3 viable decks that could be played. So that right there is already like 27. And then you have to consider wild players, and there are so many decks in wild, it's ridiculous. And then you got to consider people that play fun meme decks. What they need to do is, for example, when you click play, you should have all 9 classes right here. You click on the class, and when you click on the class, another page should come where there are 9 deck slots for that class, for a total of 81 deck slots. So each class has 9. Like right now, for example, Paladin, you will have Odd Paladin, Even Paladin, Murloc Paladin, OTK Paladin. You have so many Paladin decks just for standard right now. But what if I want to play meme Paladin decks? What if I want to dwell into wild? There are so many decks for each class right now. I don't get why there's only 18. There should be more than 18. What they need to do is, when you click on the class, 9 deck slots come on another page, or even 18, just like this, 2 pages for that one class. They need to have more deck slots. It really sucks when I want to play a different deck and I have to go back, delete a deck, make a new one, and I keep doing that. It's just waste time, really. It's just not fun. They have to have more deck slots, 81 total. For you click on the class, 9 or even 18 come up, and you get to play them. That's number 1, is deck slots. Number 2 is tournament mode. They really need to make tournament mode happen. I was really excited thinking they were working on tournament mode. It really sucked when they revealed that they stopped doing it. I don't know why, but tournament mode is an excellent way to have your old players excited, veterans. I've been playing the game since it came out, 2014. I was really looking for tournament mode. I'm a competitive player. It's fun. It's exciting. People love tournaments. Every card game should have tournaments. I don't get why they don't have tournaments yet. And it helps, I want to say noobs, but it helps people that are new to the game or aren't really competitive become competitive. You know, it's practice. Why not have tournament mode? Why? I just don't get it. What damage is there if you add a tournament mode? If you add anything new to the game, what damage does it done? I don't get it. It's optional. They're not forcing us to play tournament mode. You're still gonna have casual, ranked, wild, arena. What is the damage if you add a new mode to the game? It just makes the game better. I don't get why they stopped it. I just don't get it. Third thing they need to do is more balance changes. So in the 12 months in Hearthstone, every year, there's only 6 times where we experience something new, which is 3 expansions and 3 nerfs after the expansions. Usually an expansion comes out, and then about a month or 2, nerfs come out. So it's like the second phase of expansion. So 6 times out of the year, we really feel something new. So then you have 6 months that are just plain fucking boring, stale as fuck. You're playing the same cards, same decks. It's boring as fuck. Only 6 months out of the year we experience something new, when the expansion comes out and when nerfs come after the expansion. I feel like they need to change that up, because right now I am so bored of this meta. It's already out for about a month and a half. I don't even want to play the game. Like, it's so boring. It's Witchwood 2.0, literally the exact same meta in Witchwood. No new decks came out from Witchwood. I feel like what's it called, the new mechanic, I feel like Magnetic failed. I don't feel like magnetic really took off. I feel like project cards really didn't do well. I feel like omega cards didn't do well. It's like, why give us new things to work with if it's not gonna perform well? No project cards are being played. No omega cards are being played. Maybe like one or two. Mechs really didn't take off. Magnetic didn't really take off. I feel like this expansion did nothing. It just added new cards to old archetypes, to old Witchwood decks, and sometimes not even that. Like Odd Rogue remains unchanged. It's the same Odd Rogue from Witchwood. It did nothing. Like this expansion just added some new cards to old archetypes. It didn't really create new archetypes, maybe besides Resurrect Priest, thanks to Zarek's cloning gallery. Maybe just that. That's the only new archetype that came out of Witchwood. Other than that, it's literally Witchwood. Like the best decks in the game right now are all Witchwood decks. Like Odd Paladin remains unchanged. Even Shaman, barely any changes. Here, let me go here. Like my Odd Paladin has nothing new to it. It's the same, literally the same deck from Witchwood. Same thing with Even Shaman. Besides like Nimbus, nothing else. Odd Rogue, absolutely nothing. The same deck. Besides maybe Giggling Inventor, and that's not even needed. Heal Zoo got a couple changes. You know, it got Soul Infusion, Doubling Imp. That's it. And you could still win without those. Like, it really didn't do much to change the meta. It just added new cards to old archetypes. I feel like that's really unfun. I feel like we're still in the Witchwood meta. That's why it feels so stale so fast. So they need to make more balance changes, whether it's monthly, bi-monthly. They need to do something to either buff cards, nerf cards, add new cards once in a while, maybe like one or two, like they are with the classic set, just to shake things up. You have to change the meta. It's really boring to play the same cards, same decks every single month. There has to be some changes. We can't just keep waiting 4 months for a new expansion, then get bored again. It's the same pattern. So they have to figure out a way to do balance changes. My fourth idea is to make a third format. Right now we have Standard and Wild. I feel like it'll be awesome, especially for veterans like me that want to like play old decks like Hunter Taker or Combo Druid, or cards that were unnerfed and unnerf them. So have a third format that's just like Wild, except unnerfed and nerfed cards. This is really good for nostalgic players like myself that played 2014 right when the game came out. It's like, man, I really wish I could go back play Hunter Taker, or I really wish I could play the old Miracle Rogue where it wasn't unnerfed. So it'll be really awesome if they make a third format which is just like Wild, except all the nerf cards are unnerfed. That I really feel like would be really cool, you know, have old meta compete with new meta, new cards, just to see how it's like. And it's fun for nostalgic veterans like myself that have been playing the game. Like sometimes I want to play Hunter Taker, for example. Undertaker sucks right now, right? Why would I want to play it? It got nerfed. Or I want to play something from like GVG meta or League of Explorers meta. Or I want to play Rozaka's Priest. I want to play these old archetypes that I can't play because they're nerfed. Just make a third format just like Wild and just unnerfed and nerf cards. I think that will bring some excitement to people who are bored of the meta. My fifth suggestion would be to make more playable cards in expansions. I feel like expansions are literally adventures with like 90 pack fillers. Because when expansion comes out, maybe like 20-30 cards out of those expansions are actually competitively viable, and they actually have an effect, which is actually the same as an adventure. When adventures came out, almost literally every card in adventures was actually used, you know, like Curse of Naxxramas. There were so many broken cards in there. Almost every card was used in adventure. Expansions are literally adventures with fillers. It's just, it doesn't do much. Why add so many new cards if they're just all fillers? I feel like they have to make more playable cards, better cards, because what's the point of expansions of adding hundreds of new cards if no one's gonna play them? But with the adventures, you added just 30, 40 new cards, but almost every one of them was used. There were barely any fillers in adventures because the card pool was so limited. So I feel like expansions, they gotta make it, I don't know, more OP or more usable. Just way too many fillers in expansions. I feel like they need to add more playable cards to really shake the meta up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number 6, better rewards. I feel like the rewards in this game are beyond awful. Earning gold in this game is really hard. Earning dust is really hard. It's way too time consuming. It's not fun. It's a grind. I know it's a business. They need to make money. But once in a while, give us a legendary, or give us an incentive or something to really motivate us to reach rank 1 legend. If a player reaches rank 1 legend, there is no difference between that and rank 20,000 legend. You're still gonna get, at the end of the month, 3 commons, a golden epic. It's the same thing. Have better rewards. Motivate your players to keep playing the game. Reward us with a legendary. Why not? Even a shitty legendary that won't be used. At least we'll use it for dust. You have nothing. It doesn't hurt to reward people that already spend hundreds, even thousands of dollars on this game. Just have better rewards. Up the rewards. 3 wins for 10 gold is awful. It's just fucking awful. You need to win 30 games to get 1 pack. That's insane. That's just awful. It's bad enough that the dust and crafting system sucks. Reward your good players that reach high rank legend every month. Top 100, give them a legendary. Give them 2 even, or give top 200, more epics. Have better rewards. I feel like when you have better rewards, it will motivate people to open the game every day and play it more. Last and not least, 2, 3, 4, 5, number 7, motivate people to play the game more, particularly wild. I feel like when I get bored of standard, I dwell into wild. But the thing is, wild right now kind of sucks because AK-47 Druid and Druid in general is just limiting wild. I feel like they should nerf wild cards because it's not fun to lose on turn 4, turn 5, and you can't do nothing about it simply because my opponent played Juicy Psych Melon. It's just not fun. Wild is just like standard except a little bit more OP, but I feel like they should nerf it too. Like I said, I get bored of the meta, I go into wild. I get bored of wild because it's the same decks. It's not fun. I mean, with all the cards in that pool and you see the same class using the same cards, it's just not fun. It's like, why even print cards if people are going to keep playing the same cards every single month, every single meta? Have balance changes, man. Just balance wild, balance standard. Do something new every month to keep us engaged in the game. Right now, I feel like the game is really stale. Artifact came out. Magic the Gathering online. There are some competitors out there, especially in the esports scene, giving Hearthstone some competition. Every year, people try to make, Hearthstone killer games. It doesn't really work because, veterans that have invested so much time and money into the game, we just love the game so much. But man, as a streamer or as someone that plays the game so much, you do get bored of playing the same cards, same decks every month. Every month, have balance changes. Have better rewards. Give us more adventures. Add to the adventures, Just change the game up. It's really stale. I feel like Boomsday Project was a terrible expansion. It did absolutely nothing to the meta besides Giggling Inventor. It's literally still Witchwood for me. I feel like Boomsday did absolutely nothing. Besides maybe Zilliax, Giggling Inventor, nothing like majorly OP. You don't even have to buy this expansion, I feel. You could get to Legend easily with Witchwood decks. You don't even have to get this expansion, honestly. I feel like besides Giggling Inventor, that's the only real true card meta breaker, like Call to Arms like level card that came from this expansion. Other than that, you could literally play Witchwood and reach Legend. So those are my 7 suggestions. I feel 7 changes that need to be done to keep Hearthstone alive, to keep it going. We love the game. It's just I feel like Team 5 and Blizzard in general don't really listen to us, or don't give a fuck, or they take way too long to change something or to add something that should have been implemented in the game years ago. You know, it's kind of ridiculous that we had to beg for more deck slots, and 18 is not even enough. It's ridiculous we had to beg them to show us burn cards, something that should have been implemented since beta. Or, you know, scrolling down the history to see old plays. They didn't even have that yet. So I feel like Hearthstone is a classic game, one of the best, funnest games I've ever played in my life. I love it. And this is coming from a guy that's played Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Final Fantasy, like tier 1 level addicting games. Hearthstone really knocks everything out the park. I feel like they just need to really focus on this game, because this is not just any game. This is a classic game. It will go down in history. One of the best online games, one of the best iOS mobile games, the best card games. They just have to really work on it, and before it's too late. I feel like a lot of changes need to be done. Having the same shit every year, just 3 expansions, 3 expansions, 3 expansions, it gets boring. You need to change it up a little, add something new. The last time they've added a feature was Tavern Brawl, and that was years ago. Like, come on, man. Add more deck slots, have better rewards. Please add tournament mode, add more formats besides wild and standard. Give us more OP cards, because expansions are literally adventures with a lot of fillers. And I feel like it's pretty much too late for new players. I feel like the game's been out for 5 years. They really shouldn't focus on new players coming. I feel like everyone's played this game by now. I mean, new players are pretty much done. Focus on your veterans that have been in this game for years, you know. So this is my ideas, my 7 suggestions. Let me know what you guys think. Give me a comment below, and I'll see you guys next video. Peace.